Welcome to the AI-powered reader, your shortcut to unlocking the world's best books. Get ready to absorb key insights, understand core concepts, and expand your knowledge all in a fraction of the time. Let's dive in. Today, we're dissecting Annie Jacobsen's terrifying new book, Nuclear War: A Scenario. This is not a work of fiction. It is a meticulously researched, fact-based timeline of what happens in the minutes, hours, and years after a nuclear launch. Jacobsen's work answers the most critical questions of our time. What are the real-world protocols for nuclear command and control? How quickly would civilization unravel? What is the ultimate consequence of deterrence failure? Drawing from declassified documents and exclusive interviews with former secretaries of defense, nuclear weapons engineers, and STRATCOM commanders, she constructs a scenario that is as authoritative as it is apocalyptic. The book takes us to what the former head of U.S. Strategic Command warns is a constant reality. The world could end in the next couple of hours. So let's start the clock.
Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down big ideas. And today's topic is a heavy one. It feels like something straight out of a movie, but it is terrifyingly real. We're diving into Annie Jacobsen's incredible book, Nuclear War: A Scenario.
Yeah, and the book just throws you right into the deep end with this quote. It's a stark warning that immediately tells you, hey, this isn't science fiction, this is a real research possibility, based on actual military plans and the technology we have right now.
All right, so to get our heads around this, we've broken it down into 4 parts. We'll cover the scenario itself, how it all could go down, the terrifying truths behind it, and the final warning the book leaves us with.
First up, why we absolutely have to confront this scenario. Look, the whole idea of nuclear war, it's just so abstract, right? It's hard to really wrap your head around it. What this book does is make it terrifyingly real, and it reveals this insane paradox. The system we built to prevent a nuclear war could be the very thing that guarantees it happens. And the person telling us this is Annie Jacobsen. Now, she's not just some random author. She is a Pulitzer Prize finalist, an investigative journalist who has spent her career digging into military and intelligence secrets. Think Area 51, Operation Paperclip. She knows this world. And that's what gives this book its chilling credibility.
So she's trying to answer one big question. What would actually happen if a nuclear war started? And she doesn't just theorize. No, she builds this minute-by-minute timeline based on interviews, and not just with anyone. We're talking top-level experts, the people who actually built these weapons, maintain them, and were ready to command them.
So how in the world do you write a book about, well, the end of the world? How do you structure something so unthinkable? Jacobsen's answer is brilliant and terrifying. She uses a ticking clock. It's basically one single continuous story. It starts with a bit of the history, how we even got here with all these nuclear plans. But then it just plunges you headfirst into a real-time account of a nuclear war, and the whole thing unfolds in just 72 minutes. It's intense.
Okay, so this ticking clock structure isn't just for drama. It reveals some absolutely crucial and frankly horrifying truths about how this would all go down. We're going to focus on what we think are the 3 biggest takeaways. And the first one, it's all about speed.
26 minutes and 40 seconds. I mean, just let that sink in. That's how long it would take for an ICBM, a long-range nuclear missile, launched from Russia, to hit the United States. That's a calculation from decades ago. And that tiny, tiny window of time, it dictates every single thing that happens next.
Exactly. Because of that incredibly short flight time, the President of the United States would have just minutes, a handful of minutes, to decide whether to launch our own missiles back. And that decision? It's not based on phone calls and long talks. It's based on sensor data from satellites and radar. There is zero room for error, no time for deep human deliberation. Which brings us to the second terrifying truth, summed up perfectly by this quote. When you're looking for things that are abnormal, a lot of things appear abnormal. It's about uncontrollable escalation. In what they call the fog of war, with confusing data and unbelievable pressure, the entire system is basically designed to escalate, automatically. And this is how fast it spirals out of control. Just look at this timeline from the book. It starts with one missile from North Korea, just one. 12 minutes later, the US retaliates with 82 warheads. But here's the kicker. Russia's warning systems see that U.S. launch, and they misinterpret it as an attack on them. So just 33 minutes in, they're preparing their own strike, and by minute 45, they launch. Over 1,000 nuclear warheads at the U.S. and Europe. The whole initial exchange is over in 72 minutes, an hour and 12 minutes, and civilization is just gone.
It's just unbelievable. And that brings us to the third terrifying truth. Because you might think the war is over after those 72 minutes, but the explosions? They're just the beginning. The real long-term devastation comes next. And it has a name: nuclear winter.
So here's what that means. All those burning cities, they would inject about 150 teragrams, that's 330 billion pounds, of black soot high up into the stratosphere. This massive cloud of soot would literally block out the sun. Global temperatures would plunge, kicking off a new ice age. Farming? It collapses, worldwide. Rainfall is cut by 50%, the ozone layer is destroyed, and the result is mass famine. The book estimates over 5 billion people would die, not from the bombs, but from simply starving to death.
And that brings us to our final section, the final warning. Look, the power of this book isn't just that it's a scary story. The power is in the absolutely rigorous research that makes it feel so damn believable.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand, this isn't just Jacobsen's imagination. This whole scenario is built on interviews with the actual people who ran these systems. We're talking former secretaries of defense like William Perry, STRATCOM commanders like General Kaler, even one of the guys who designed the first hydrogen bomb. She didn't invent this stuff, she synthesized it from the experts. She documented what they told her would happen.
And the book forces you to confront what a nuclear explosion actually is. You know, it's not just a big flash of light on a movie screen. It's a high-pressure wave, moving faster than sound, that literally mows people down, throws them through the air, and bursts their lungs and eardrums. It's pure physics, but it's horrific.
And that mushroom cloud, that famous, iconic image, it's not just smoke and dust. The book makes it clear that cloud is made of the incinerated remains of people, of our homes, our libraries, our cities, all of our civilization's debris rising 5, then 10 miles into the sky. It's not just destruction, it's the complete unmaking of everything.
Which leads to the book's ultimate soul-crushing question. She brings up this 12,000-year-old archaeological site to frame it. After all this time, after 12,000 years of civilization, could we really reduce it all to rubble in less than 72 minutes? Less time than a lunch break? It's this haunting idea that even Einstein was afraid of. He worried that we'd become hunter-gatherers again, all because of this terrible weapon that so-called civilized humans created. It's the ultimate irony, isn't it? The very peak of our technological achievement could be what throws us right back to the Stone Age. And that's really the final chilling takeaway from this book. The survival of our entire species just hangs in the balance. The system is real. The plans are already in place. And as long as these weapons exist, the story we've just walked through isn't a fantasy. It's a very real possibility, just waiting for a trigger.
That's all for this episode of the AI-Powered Reader. We hope today's summary sparked new ideas and brought you valuable insights. If you enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and consider leaving a review. It really helps others discover the show. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep reading, or rather listening.